and you still hold it in the back of your heart. And I was like, wow, you need to bring it up to him and you need to release him. So I went and brought it up to him. And the funny thing is, when I said it to him, they were like, man, I knew I hurt you, but I never knew how to bring it up. And this was like a 10-year gap, like between the
Right.
time of the occurrence and later. But I didn't know I was holding unforgiveness. So God brought it to my attention. And I was like, what you talking about? I get along fine with them. He said, yeah, but you never let that go. They hurt you in that particular. So sometimes you don't know what you have in your heart until God expose it or reveal it. And I'm figuring we get along fine. We talking fine. We kicking it. I was like, what you talking about? And then he brought up a couple more things. I said, oh, okay, then this is just going to be a lineup today, huh? So
I mean, sometimes you got to go down through there.
yeah, so he went on down through there, and I took the list and I went to everybody that he told. And the funny thing is, with every single person, they all remembered it, but they didn't know how to bring it up. Like that was the curious part. It's like, man, I knew that bothered, but I never knew what to do. And it's like, man, thank you for saying something about it, because I never knew how to, address it or even bring it up. So they was glad that I did. So then that took them off the hook. So they even
Absolutely.
had, something was
Absolutely.
there. But because I brought it up, it's like, ooh, man, I'm glad you said something, because I knew. So sometimes forgiveness helps you and it helps them. And sometimes you don't even know you holding stuff until God put the light on it. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes, especially like when you look at that verse about how many times to forgive them, the 7 times the 70 or whatever, it's not so much that repeats itself, but the thought of it repeats in your head and you
mhm.
get mad all over again. Even
Yeah.
though, let's
Right.
say, if it
Mhm.
happened and you squash, you say, man, I forgive you. But every time it comes up, you know what I'm saying, you get mad over and over and over again still.
Yeah.
That means that, yes, you forgave them, you did the act of it, but you didn't do the actual due diligence and really, do the whole thing. So once it keeps repeating and once it quits and you really forgive them, then you'll see that peace comes over you and you're able to move on from that. Because until you truly forgive them, it'll still keep coming up and you'll still keep feeling that same way. You'll keep